marble crochet tutorial. For this tutorial I would like to show you how to make the Harlequin singlet using that really pretty stitch called the Harlequin stitch, a 3.5mm hook, yes, and this yarn, which is Ruby Campinia, I don't know. It's 100% acrylic. I think this is 100 grams. Not sure of the ply because, like I've said numerous times in the past, the labels in Spain don't have plies. But this is quite fine, so I'm going to assume I'm just going to say DK. Yeah. So that, okay, for this design, it starts with a base chain. So what you're doing is you're chaining a length that's going to wrap around your bust to the back. But what happens is, once you start doing the stitch, the actual stitch itself reduces the size of that area. So what you need to do is you have to chain an extra certain percentage of the area that you've already chained. So based off my calculations, and what I'm doing is I've added about 9% more of the original chain that I've done. So, but I'm telling you this because if you want to make a larger size, or for whatever size you're making it, you're going to want to do 9% more of the size that you've already got, and that's what's going to help to make the size that will fit properly. Otherwise it just, yeah, it reduces too much and it won't fit. Okay, so that, I hope that makes sense. I will run through that with you again when we get started. So yeah, it's a really pretty stitch. I'm really excited to be using it. This may come across as slightly fiddly to begin with and a little bit annoying, but believe me, once you get used to it, it's fine. It might take you a couple of days to make this, you know, if you really solidly stick at it. Probably, I don't know, maybe a week of on and off, you know, crochet here and there. But yes, I'm really looking forward to making this design with you. And I'm really pleased with the pattern I've come up with. So there's that as well. Alright, probably not much more I can say at this point. If you like this video, please give it a like. If you haven't subscribed but you would like to join me for some more tutorials, I would love to have you. Yes. I will link my Patreon in the description below. And thank you to my Patreons. No, thank you to my patrons. I eternally appreciate your support. Yeah, alright, let's just get into making this singlet. Okay, I'm going to quickly explain this stitch count for you before we begin, because you're going to need to obviously chain a length that fits you, and like I said, you need to add roughly 9% of that original chain to that chain. But included in this chain, what you need to do is you need to have exactly multiples of 8 plus 6 plus 1. Okay, because for this design what I've done is I've added 3 double crochets to the beginning of every row and 3 double crochets to the end. So plus 6, then plus 1. And you might think that we're adding, well, you might think that we should have added plus 2 because we're doing a double crochet at the beginning of the first row, but you only need to add 1, because if you add an extra 1, you're going to end up with a chain that you don't need. So yeah, like I said, chain a length that's going to wrap around your bust area, roughly 9%, but it must be in multiples of 8 plus 6 plus 1. Okay. Alright, so for me, the original chain was 168, but plus the roughly 9%, which included all multiples of 8 plus 6 plus 1, it worked out to be 183 chains. So I'm going to do 183 chains, which begins as finding the end of our yarn. We're going to make a slip knot and adjust the knot to your hook and make that chain. So chain stitch, which is just like that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So yeah, like I said, mine is 183. You work yours out. You can actually, if you're not good at maths like me, just go on Google and Google what is the percentage of whatever, what is roughly 9%. Actually, just do what is 9% of whatever your original chain is, and it'll give you the answer straight away. So yeah, it's really easy. Alright, so I'll meet you back when I've done my 183 chains. Alright, now here I am with my extremely long length of chain, but like I said, it is going to bunch up once we start doing the stitches. Alright, now, focusing the camera, we are skipping the first 2 chains from the hook. So 1 and 2, we're going to double crochet into the 3rd chain from the hook. So not that one or that one, but the 3rd chain back from the hook. So that one just there. Double crochet, and then once again we're going to double crochet into the next 2 chains after that. So 3 double crochets for the very beginning. So 1, 2, and 3. Now what we do, so there's 3 double crochets for the beginning just there. Now what we do next is we skip the next 3 chains. So yarn over, skip the next 3 chains, 1, 2, 3, and into the 4th chain along we do 3 double crochets into the 1 chain, into that same chain, 1 and 2 and 3. So 3 double crochets. Now chain 1 and put 3 more double crochets into that chain. So 1 and 2 and 1 more double crochet into that chain and 3. Now there's the beginning, there's the first part of one of the stitches, and yeah, it's just one part. But anyway, what we do now is we skip the next 3 stitches along, and just be careful to always make sure you count that stitch right there, because sometimes it can get a bit bunched up because you sort of, well, like I said, this stitch bunches things up. So just there, skipping that stitch, so 1, 2, 3, in the 4th stitch along from there, so 1, 2, 3, in the 4th stitch just put a single crochet. So single crochet into that 4th stitch along. So just there like that, single crochet. Now yarn over, count 3 more stitches, oh well, skip the next 3 chains, 1, 2, I hope you can see that. Okay, skipping the next 3 chains, 1, 2, and 3, double crochet into the 4th chain along, actually 3 double crochets into the 4th chain along, 1, 2, and 3, then again chain 1 and another 3 double crochets into that same chain. So by now you can definitely see how the pattern for this first row is emerging. So what you're doing is you are skipping 3 chains. Hang on a second. Getting a bit tangled. That's annoying. So yeah, we've done that. We've done the 3 double crochets, chain 1 and 3 double crochets into the same chain. Then again, skipping 3 chains. So what do we got here? Oh, it gets a little bunched. Yeah. Hang on a second. Alright, so skipping the next 3 chains along. So 1, 2, 3, and then you're going to single crochet into the 4th chain along just there. So yeah, like I said, it is 3 double crochets, chain 1, then 3 more double crochets into the same chain after you've skipped the 3 chains, then skipping another 3 chains into the 4th chain, single crochet, again skip 3 chains and 3 double crochets, chain 1, and another 3 double crochets into that 4th chain. And just continue doing that to the end of the row. So where am I at? I am up to yarn over and skipping 3 chains along. So 1, try and get this close so you can see, 1, 2, 3, and double crochet into that 4th chain, 3 double crochets into the 4th chain. So 1, 2, and 3. Then chain 1 and another 3 double crochets into that 4th. Oh, this is going to get tangled. Another 3 double crochets into that chain. 1 and 2 and 3. Then again, skipping 3 chains. Alright, then again, skipping 3 chains along, so 1, 2, 3, and you're going to single crochet into the 4th chain, single crochet. So complete that to the end until you get to the last 3 chains where you're going to put 3 single double crochets into those chains. But I'll meet back up with you then and we'll do it together. Okay, now here I am at the end of this first row, and this is what that row looks like. Now I've got 6 chains left, so once again we yarn over and skip, yarn over, focus the camera and skip 3 chains, so 1, 2, 3, double crochet into the next chain along, and then double crochets into the 2 remaining chains to finish up the row. 2 and 3. And that's row 1 complete. So just like that. Now to begin row 2, we chain up 2 and turn. So turning the work, grab yourself a bit more yarn. Try not to get tangled. And now what do we got here? We double crochet into the first 3 stitches. So we're going through the whole of the stitch as well. So to do that we yarn over. See, there's the V on the top of the stitch, and we go in beneath that V through the side just there. In through like that. Pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. And then in through the next stitch. So double crochet. And then again into the next stitch just there, double crochet, just like that. Alright, what we do next is we're going to double crochet 3 stitches together. So to do that we yarn over, we insert our hook into the first stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 only and leave these stitches, or leave these loops on the hook. Then we yarn over, go into the next stitch along, insert hook, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, leave these 3. Yarn over into the next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. Then we've got, so we see we've got 3 stitches now, well, not including that one, but we've got 3 double crochets on the hook, yarn over, pull through all 4 loops, and that's how you double crochet stitches together. Now after this we're going to skip that chain space just there. We're going to chain 7, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6 and 7. So chaining 7, now like I said, skipping that chain space, skipping that just there, we're going to double crochet the next 6 stitches together. So that's skipping that chain space and not including the single crochet at the bottom just there. So I'm going to do it with you just so that you know what I mean. So into the next stitch is there, so skipping that chain space, next stitch along, insert hook, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. Then yarn over, insert hook, yarn over, pull up a loop, pull through 2. Yarn over, insert hook, next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. So as you see, you've got 3 stitches on the hook just there, not including that chain. Now skipping, like I said, skipping that single crochet stitch, we're going to go into the next one along, so yarn over, insert a hook, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. Then we're going to do that 2 more times, yarn over, insert, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, insert hook, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, and then you'll see you've got 6 stitches on the hook, not including chain. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then you yarn over and you pull through all 7 of those loops, including the chain. Yeah. All right. So there you go. You've got that. Now from there you're going to chain 7. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then again, like you've just done before, you're going to double crochet 6 stitches together, exactly as you just did. So exactly the same, not including the chain space or the single crochet. Try not to break things. Yes. Alright, so yeah, and you can probably see how the pattern of this row is going to go. So it's a chain of 7, then double crocheting 6 stitches together. But for the first double crocheting together it's going to be 3. But yeah, when you get to the end, you're going to do double crochet 3 stitches together, and then the single double crochets into the last 3 stitches. But I'll meet back up with you at the end of the row and we'll go through it together. So as you can see here, I've got 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 on the hook, then yarn over and pull through all 7 of those loops, including the chain just there. Then again, chain 7, and just repeat this process all the way till the end. I'll meet back up with you at the end and we'll do it together. Alright, here I am at the end of row 2, and I'm about to do my last cluster stitch, which is a cluster of 3. So that is yarn. I've done my chain of 7, so there's 1 and 2, and the last one just there, 3, and then yarn over and pull through all of the loops. And there we go. And now all we do from there is put our 3 double crochets into those 3 final stitches at the end. 1 and 2, and that last stitch at the end, 3. And there we go. That's row 2. Okay, so moving on to row 3, we chain up 2, 1, 2, and we turn. Oh, trying to break things again. Yeah, I need to create a bit of space. Anyway, so we've chained up 2 and we've turned. Now we yarn over, double crochet into the first 2 stitches, so 1 and 2. Then into the 3rd stitch we're going to put 4 double crochets all into the same stitch. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 all into the same stitch. Now you see just here beneath at this on the second last row, just here, so we put 4 into the last stitch, 4 double crochets. Now just in the middle here, see where that chain space is for the second last row? What you're going to do is you're going to go past that chain just there, and you go into that chain space in the middle of that little group of stitches, and you're going to just put a single crochet, just like that. So just like that, single crochet. Now, what you're going to do is you're going to move on. See just here, there's that stitch just there, that sort of chain just there, where you've put that group of 6 stitches. So you're going to be working into that space just there again. See, just in that middle space, just a little tiny space. So I'll show you. You yarn over and you go in there, just in there, see? Double crochet, so you do 1 and into the same space, 2, and into the same space again, 3, and then you chain 1 and do 3 more double crochets into that same little space. So 1 and 2 and another one into that little space is 3. And there you go. So there you go, you've actually completed your first complete Harlequin stitch. Yeah. Alright, so moving on, so after you've done that, you just do the same as you did for that second last row chain space. You single crochet into that chain space of the second last row. See, just like that. And there you go. Just like that. And so you see that chain on the top there is just going to fall between the stitch. Alright, so moving on, you just do the same into that next space that holds the previous 6 stitches in the cluster. So you do your double crochet of 3 into that small space, 1 and 2 and 3, followed by a chain of 1 and then another 3 double crochets into that same space. 1, 2, what do we got? 1, 2, and 3. So you see this is really easy, this row. You're just doing those cluster stitches into those small spaces just above the previous cluster stitch just there. And then you're working that single crochet into that chain space just there. We'll do it together again. So bypassing that sort of larger chain on the top just there, you're going into that space just there from the second last row and putting a single crochet. Just like that. So you're going to complete the row doing that until you get to the end. I'm going to meet back up with you again and show you what to do. This row is a little bit different because you've put your 3 starting cluster stitches into the same stitch as one of the 3 double crochets. So anyway, yeah, we're just moving on. That's what we do. Alright, so I'll meet you at the end of the row and I'll show you what we do from there, and then we'll work on row 4.